With your CIGTV News Update, I'm Donna Bush. Hazard Management Cayman Islands wrapped up a two-day workshop today. The Continuity of Operations Plan workshop brought together government agencies to look at how they put together their plan for how they would respond in the aftermath of a disaster.
We think it's very important that government agencies continue to deliver their essential functions, their services. Obviously, we're expecting the police, the fire department, pretty much every government agency to continue to deliver their core functions, no matter what, if we get hit by a major hurricane or an earthquake or a tsunami. So it's important for these agencies to plan, so they know how they're going to do that, how they're going to accomplish it, who their critical staff are. They're going to show up, roll up their sleeves, get to work immediately in the aftermath. It's actually part of the disaster preparedness and hazard management law. It's a requirement for every government agency to file a continuity of operations plan each year. So in the past, possibly it's not been taken as seriously as it could be, but we think they're very important. Government's obviously got to continue to deliver its services, no matter what happens, whether we get hit by an earthquake, a tsunami, a hurricane. So this workshop is looking at things like asking the agencies to identify those critical functions that just have to continue.
Again, it is a legal requirement for each government agency to file a continuity of operations plan every year. We invite you to join us on Wednesday for more on the goal of the HMCI two-day workshop. Meantime, the Department of Environment is reminding the public of species protections. Since February 27th, 4 sharks have been found dead in Cayman Islands waters, according to reports investigated and confirmed by the DOE Shark Research Team, Shark Conservation Cayman. A number of other sharks have been injured or found dead as well. Now, there was 1 silky shark, 2 lemon sharks, 2 nurse sharks, and a black tip shark, either found dead or injured. Now, the DOE press release notes that sharks, stingrays, and skates are protected at all times in the Cayman Islands, and that means that fishing for sharks, selling their fins or meat, or deliberately harming a shark is punishable under the National Conservation Law by a substantial fine and a forfeiture of the vessel and equipment used in the offense. Now, the DOE is urging people who fish to release accidentally caught sharks by removing the hook or cutting the line. Now, for more information about shark conservation, Cayman's efforts to conserve Cayman's shark population, and how you can become involved, you may contact DOE Public Education and Outreach Officer Brent Fuller on 244-5984 or 922-5514, or you can even email him at brent.fuller@gov.ky. More information can also be found on the DOE website at doe.ky. Finally, the Department of Planning is organizing the following events to celebrate Building Safety Month this May. Here's a look at the various planned events. And you must reserve your space by sending organizers an email. You can send that email to info@planning.gov.ky. For more details, you can also visit their website at planning.ky. Now, for a look at our weekly schedule of programs here on CIG Television, you can go online to gis.gov.ky. Or if you missed today's news update, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page or the CIG Television YouTube channel. For now, I'm Donna Bush, as always, thanking you for joining us, wishing you a wonderful and, of course, a very safe night, and hoping you'll join me back here again tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye for now. Did you know that planning permission is required for a shed? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know planning permission is required to clear land by mechanical means? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!
Did you know that planning permission is required for an addition, alteration, or any material change to your house? The 10% rule no longer exists. Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required?
The Esterly-Tibbetts Highway 3-lane roundabout is ready for drivers. It's time to make sure you know how to use it. First, know which exit you need to take. Pay attention to lane arrows and signs. Make sure you use your signal to change lanes or exit the roundabout. To turn left, you always approach in the left-hand lane and indicate left. To drive straight ahead, you need to be looking out for signs and road markings indicating which lane to use. Get in one of the lanes marked with a straight-through arrow. If turning right, you must use the right-hand lane and indicate accordingly. To use the roundabout safely, remember these 3 tips. Know your exit, pick your lane, and signal to make your turn.
Did you know your mailing address details on your land register must be up to date in order to receive notices on new development which may impact you? Visit Lands and Survey Department to check your mailing address is correct. Did you know that walls, fences located along the road require planning permission no matter the height? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required. Did you know that fences and walls within the high water setback require planning permission no matter the height? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required.